YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. This is the third time I've filmed this. I've had some serious camera issues lately. Hopefully the lighting's decent on this one, but I was having some serious issues before. Really got to figure that out. I used to have better lighting, but for some reason can't quite figure it out down here lately. So whatever, that's not the important part. The important part is I'll get to show you these things. Now I've already cleaned most of this because you know, after I filmed it, didn't even realize that you know, the lighting was off. It kind of made me look like an Oompa Loompa in the lighting that I had. It was really orange and kind of strange. I don't know how that worked out, but needless to say, this is the video. Hopefully this is the final you know, time I'll have to run through this, but let me get started. The first thing that I picked up here was from a friend of mine. Actually, her son collects Skylanders, which I do as well. I sort of fallen by the wayside on the Trap Team stuff. I'm hoping to find them cheaply after the fact, because I really noticed the prices sort of plummet. For the most part, there's no point in going out and getting them when they first come out, kind of thing. I don't mind collecting them loose because I really don't keep them boxed or anything like that, so there's really no reason for me to be picking them up like day one kind of thing. But he had this for a while, I guess. They bought a few of these, sold some locally, recouped their input on it and kind of thing, and this is one that I was after, kind of idea, and they offered it to me for free, so gladly took it. It's just the Chaos Trap, which they said was kind of rare. I sort of, like I said, I've fallen by the wayside in understanding the Trap Team kind of stuff, so I just never really, I don't really know like the rarity and whatnot of that, but they said this one was fairly rare, at least it was at the time, so that's pretty cool there to get that for paying absolutely nothing. So it was a really nice gift on their part, and I thank them very much for that. Moving on to the stuff that I found at the thrift shops, it was a fairly decent week actually. My final part's probably the best N64 stuff I've ever found. I already showed a picture of this coat to a couple of friends as well. I couldn't wait to share it with them, but let me get started. So the things that, you know, I'm showing right now aren't related to the N64 lot. That's really at the end, so let me get started. To start off with, on half price day, this came out on a cart at Goodwill. Pretty decent score, I guess, for what it is. This cart just rolled out, and for $2.50 I picked up Ratchet Deadlocked, which is something I already have in my collection, so it's not a big deal, but it's complete, and I'm basically just going to look to flip this one. Has a little bit of cleaning that needs to be done to make it perfect and everything, but you know, no problem right there, and I'll be taking that likely to the GTA Collectibles Expo. Hopefully, you know, get a couple dollars out of that kind of idea. Moving on, I also picked up for $5.05 this title right here, Gauntlet Dark Legacy for PlayStation 2. Didn't have this already, except for I do have the Game Boy Advance version of it, but I do like these sort of dungeon crawler, brawler type things. They're pretty fun, so kind of interested in this one. I'm going to check it out. I was really hoping that one day I would find this on the original Xbox, just because I do prefer, you know, if it's multi-plat, to get it on the original Xbox. It tends to just look a little bit better, tends to run a little smoother, so, you know, one day when I get the original Xbox version of this, then this one here will go up for sale. But cool nonetheless. I don't know if you can see the screenshots and stuff on the back, but looks like a dungeon crawler type thing to me. Like I said, I have it on the Game Boy Advance and happy to get it on the PlayStation 2 now. And then the next one here, this one here I paid $5 for. This is at a Value Village. Surprisingly, maybe it's just for the system or how new this is, or that it might be one of the only types of this game on the system. I'm not really totally certain about that, but it's Madden Football for the 3DS. This was $5. Now surprisingly, this goes for 20 plus, sort of online kind of thing, so I'll probably be selling that, you know, at the GTA Collectibles Expo. If not, I'll probably put that online somewhere and try to recoup some costs from it. I'm not really interested in collecting football games and things like that, so just a recouper right there. That should be pretty awesome. Alright, the next thing I want to show you here is the reason why I keep thrifting. You know, it's not every day now that you come across a really nice score at the Goodwills or the Value Villages and stuff like that. It's kind of getting a little bit more challenging. There's a lot of competition, but you know, when you do score it, it's really great. That's the reason why I keep thrifting, is that thrill of the hunt, and there's something that I found that makes it all worthwhile kind of idea. So this is how this unfolded. I'll show you pictures here in a second of this N64 lot that I picked up. It was all sort of bundled together, and they had covered it in tape, so I'll show you a picture of that now. So you can see the price on there was $100, and I wasn't totally sold at $100. It's not that it's not worth $100, it's just that's a lot of cash to be dropping down all at one time, and I'm not really at that point where I can just sort of throw that kind of cash around all in one purchase. So what I was kind of doing, and I was still considering it, and I was sort of mulling it over my head, and I mean, obviously for $100 that would have been worth what's there, that's no problem, but I just kind of, you know, I was sort of hesitant about it. I don't know why exactly. But while I was sort of thinking about that, a little old lady who apparently I've helped in the past, I don't remember helping this person out in the slightest, but she approached me, and I guess I'd overheard the conversation I was having with the cashier about it, just because, you know, it was all taped up, and I was like, I don't know if everything's in there, I don't know what kind of condition it's in, I can't even open it because I can't get the tape off of these things to actually see what's inside. And she said they were all complete, and we had this conversation anyways that I had with the cashier, but the old ladies kind of said, you know, because you've helped me out in the past, I guess I must have assisted her in some sort of way in the past in the store. I don't remember doing it, but you know, that's the way karma goes, I guess. She said, you know what, if you have the cash, I'll just get you the seniors discount that we have today. So that was really wicked that this person had remembered me, you know, I guess appreciated my help, and you know, I gave her $80 and she paid for this stuff for me. So it was really nice to save that extra 20, you know, and I don't even know what her name is, but thank you very much for helping me out, because I really appreciate it. So I guess that's the way things work, you know, you throw around a bit of kindness and it'll bounce back to you, and it really worked out in my favor, definitely this time around. So I'll get started on this though. Like I said before, it was all bundled in tape, so I did my best to get the tape off. Things did not come out perfectly unscathed, but I'll explain that in a second. So the first one here is one of the ones that got a little scathed, I guess, and you can see it's F1 World Grand Prix. There's a small tiny little rip right there that was caused by the tape. I think it was sort of my fault taking it off. I was trying to be very careful as possible, but again, you know, I did my best. Box is in pretty good shape though, otherwise I'd give it like, you know, a 9 out of 10 kind of thing, otherwise maybe 8.5. A few little wrinkles and things here and there, but not too bad. I'm not going to open all these up, but all the contents are in there, like all the inserts, everything's in there. I think the only thing missing might just be like the baggie or something like that. So pretty cool find right there. That was the first one. Second one here is Star Wars Rogue Squadron, which I already have in my collection, but I do not have boxed games. Actually, these are the first box games I've ever come across in the wild, so really cool right there. You can see this one's in really great shape. I'd say this is almost like a 9 out of 10. A little bit of wrinkling right there, but whoever had these took like excellent shape of them. So again, all the contents are in there. I know 1 or 2 of these have the bags, but other than that, that's likely the only thing that's missing out of this. So pretty cool, like inserts, advertisements, everything in there as well. Moving on from there, also picked up Army Men Sarge's Heroes 2, which I already enjoyed these games rather on the PlayStation 1. Tons and tons and tons of fun. I really enjoyed them. The Army Men games on the PlayStation 1 I find don't really have a whole lot of value, and I don't think they've aged particularly well, but they're still lots of fun to play, especially like the air attack type ones. But that one there, pretty awesome. Again, amazing shape and all complete. Everything's in there, maybe a few small dings in the corner, but again, like 9 out of 10 sort of box condition, which is really sweet. And then finally, the classic that pretty much everybody has in their collection, GoldenEye 007, and luckily this is the regular version, not the, you know, what is it, like greatest hits type thing on their player's choice type one. So again, in perfect shape, and this one did not get damaged in the slightest by the tape job, which is really awesome. I'm so happy about that. Again, inserts, everything in there, so super complete, really great shape. So pleased to pick up something like that. So I'm sort of on the fence about those box games if I really want to get into N64 boxed collection. It's sort of one of those things where, you know, I have a few NES games for the most part that are boxed. Like all my hard case kind of stuff I like to get boxed, but as far as these cardboard boxes go, I don't really know if that's the kind of collection avenue I want to go down. Tell me what you think of that. I know some of you guys are different kinds of collectors, but I don't know what I'm going to do with that. So I'm going to hold on to them for now, and I'll see, you know, like down the road what I'm planning on doing with those ones, because I may want to trade those up just for some loose carts to build something like my Super Nintendo collection. I really think that's something where I'd like to advance a little bit more on, or even, you fill in some of the titles I need for my NES collection. So that's really something that I'll need to consider in the future, but you guys let me know what you think of that. Also in that bundle, I mean, you probably saw this stuff in the picture, there is a green controller which is in the box as well. So again, really good shape. Everything's in there. I don't know if these things came with manuals. If they did, they weren't in there, but the controller was actually in the system box, and the gray one was in here, so I just returned everything where it needs to go, kind of idea. But otherwise, it's in there, and the controller's in really good shape. I'll probably hold on to this for my collection. This is the only boxed N64 controller that I have right now. I do have actually a system that's boxed, but I do not have a controller box, so I might just keep that one nicely on display for my collection. And then the last item, which did not come out unscathed, unfortunately. I don't know if you saw it in the pictures. I'll show it again, the way that this was wrapped up with tape. But as you can see from the picture there, the boxes were sort of on top of this, kind of like that, and then they had actually taped it to the top of that. And I think what somebody had done, and this was not anything of my doing, but I think what whoever taped it had done was they sort of placed some tape down on it and did not like how they placed it or something, pulled it back up, and that caused this little bit of damage right here. So when I actually got the tape off, I mean, that came off almost immediately kind of thing, which really is a stinker, because this probably would have replaced the box system I have. They're pretty much in comparable shape for the most part. This one's, I think, in a little bit better shape. There is obviously that rip now in the front, so that's why it's not replacing mine. Little small ding there and a little ding there, but otherwise a really minty box for an N64, that's for sure. And inside, all the contents were in there. The system that was in there I actually took out and I put into my box system, like I said before, because I filmed this a couple of times before already. I already sort of done all the swapping and trading kind of thing, so I'm not really going to undo that right now. But I took the system that was in my box, put it in here. The system that was in this box originally had an expansion pack in it, which is a nice bonus as well, but it has all the wires and everything like that. So that's going to come to the GTA Collectibles Expo, just because I'm not going to need this. This right here alone can recoup what I put into this, the 80 bucks that I put into the whole deal, and everything else is kind of, icing on the cake sort of idea. So that's everything I have to show you right there. Pretty awesome haul. This is really, like I said, the reason why I go out there and hit these stores up all the time for finds like this. Really amazing deal, and so happy that people in the community, I guess in the thrifting community, not just game collecting, people recognize that I'm helpful or whatever, and want to show appreciation for that, willing to help me out with getting a little bit off on this one as well. So that's everything I got to show you this time around. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I will see you all later.